Okay, so I keep on going through this, but the videos are too long. Did 6 videos, not able to do it. Went into too much detail on each method, so we're just going to do a general overview and not do it for each. So, places is the general file reader, which takes from zip codes .txt, breaks it down to a place object, then it's given to location via the private method, and it's going to be added to a list of locations because the list is an array list of the locations fed to it. So what we're doing here is a for each loop, creating a set, which is just a value or an object pair, not a pair, but just it by itself. It organizes them, so it's just a key, so you can check the key. It's kind of like a map, but not key value pair. What we're gonna do is we're gonna just add to the string of state names the location.state, which is going to just iterate over each location, because list, inside the list, we're going to iterate over each location, just pull a state. Same thing over here, but just with the city. Over here, we're going to create a set for each loop again. We're going to make sure that the location city is equal to the text, doesn't matter if it's uppercase, lowercase, of city name. So then if the state has that city name, we're going to add the state to our states with that city name set. City name, all city names of a given state for each loop, making sure that the state is equal to that state name that we're searching. If it is, we add the city. Then we return it. All city names, we're going to use a group of states, which is just going to be a set here, and through that set we're going to iterate through the locations in our original list of places, locations, and we're going to see if the states that we entered contains the location state that is provided. If it does, we're going to add that location city. Next, we're going to do get states that contain any of these cities. We're going to have a set of cities. We're going to do a for each loop again, make sure the city names that we provided contains the location city within the list. So it's going to iterate through the entire list, and we're going to add the location state if it matches. Get common city names. What we're doing is we're creating two sets, city 1, city 2. Common city names is going to be a set by itself because that's going to be where we're putting the matching. We're going to take city 1, check each city in city 1 compared to city 2, right? And then we're going to just add the city if it matches. Get city from zip code. We're going to check this, so we're just doing a for each loop, checking the variable that we put in, which is zip code, see if the location zip code is equal to the zip code provided in the list that we iterate over, and add it if it is. Return city names. Get zip codes of a city, so we enter in the state and city name, and we can get the zip codes of a given city. So what we do is we just do a list iteration over, once again, all the places, locations, if you want to call them that. I'll just call them places because it makes it easier for me. But with locations just broken down more. We're going to make sure that the city name and the location, and the state name is going to be equal to what we provided. If it is, inside of that list, we're going to pull the zip code, add it to our list of zip codes. Then we're going to have all the zip codes for that given city. Get zip code count. What we're doing here is we're creating a map, which is a key value pair. Key is going to be an integer, which is the zip code. Value is going to be how many. What happens here in the default is that we will is that if it isn't there, if it's not there, code's just going to default it as 0 and then add 1. So then what happens is we have 1. If it is there, we're going to take, let's say, that 1 that we got prior, and then add another 1 to it too. Get state count, same thing as above, just with states. Get number of zip codes. So what we're doing here is that we're going to create a key value pair, string being the state, and the value being the zip code. Okay. And then what happens here is that we're going to get the number of zip codes for each state. So what we do here is we're going to do key set via that. So what that key set is doing is that we're taking get zip codes and states, which was up here a little bit higher, which provides us a key value pair. It gives us the number. It gives us the I'm brain farting right now. It's giving us the amount of zip codes within a state. I believe. Location.zip code. Okay. I don't want to get trapped here, so what it's doing is I don't even think this is what I'm looking. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. So this is giving us a count of the zip codes. So then down here, oh no, yeah, that wasn't what I was looking for. That's why I was confusing myself. Get zip codes. So what we're doing here is that we're getting the zip codes in a certain state, city and state. So what we're doing down here is simply providing that, which is the zip code in the city state. Then we're going to check each one via the key, which is going to be the zip code. We're going to get the... Yeah, okay, so we're just pulling the zip code keys. I don't know why I'm confusing myself down here. I went over this like 6 times, but I guess you forget things after doing this so many times. So what we're doing here is we're going into each of the... Oh my god. So we're returning the set of zip codes. Oh my god. So we're getting the zip codes in a state. Then we're just going to iterate over through it via the key, which is going to be... I don't think it's going to let me find it right now. Okay, so I'm just going to go over this as best as I can, how I remember it from last time. What's going to happen is that we're going to go through the key, which the key is the main portion. The value is just an integer or a connection to it. We're going to go through it. We're going to get the state. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the state in there and then add the zip code size, which will give us the amount of zip codes for a state. And then we'll know how many zip codes is in a state. So zip codes.nstates. I wish I could just pull. Okay, so here it is. So what we're getting is, oh, that's later on down there. Get zip codes in state. Yeah, so that's later on down there. That's why I couldn't find it. Okay. So then what we're doing in get city names is that we are going to pull the city names via creating a key value pair. In this case, the value is going to be a set of strings, and we're going to create a hash map with that. Obviously, it's a hash map for each loop. The location state, location city set to a variable. If the state is not, the state's already there, but if since the state's already there, well, since it's absent, I mean, we're always gonna have the state, right? So we're gonna have city names, and this is just basically an add feature. So what happens in this add feature is that we have the state, so we're adding the state. If the city's not here, we're creating a hash set and just adding the city. So we're just making it possible to add cities to it if it's not already there. So on the first initialization, we're not going to have a hash set, a set for the key value pair here. So what happens is we have a map, which is a string, and then it takes a set of strings. So we're initializing the set. So we're basically doing we're basically just creating a set, and then we're just adding cities to it. So the first run, it's going to create a set, and then it's just going to continue to add, if we already don't have the key state. What happens here is we're basically doing the same thing as above, but we're doing it for zip codes. Right here, we're just finding the zip codes close to a location. I had a little bit of help from a friend with this one, and also the video that we watched. What happens here is that we're going to go through the zip codes close to. We're going to do zip code. We're going to take the zip code, look at the distance that we want it to be close to, amount of way, like by value. We're going to create a set of zip codes, which is going to give us the zip codes that are close to a target location. Get the location for zip code. So we're going to pull all the zip codes. So we're going to pull all the zip codes, and then what we're going to do is see the distance of each zip code, basically doing latitude and longitude, and then add it if it's within a certain distance that we want. Here this is the math equation that we were provided, and this is going to be the ability for us to get the location of the zip code, which is just going to pull zip code equal to zip code, making sure that we have the proper zip code before we do the math. Before we get not the above, but this is going to be so we can this is really long. I've been through this like 6 times. So what we're doing is we're pulling the get location from here, so we know the location of the zip code, so we're returning the location 1 2 3 4 5 6. So we're returning 1 2 3 4 5. So we're returning the location, so this would be PR. So then we're just going to return the location of the zip code. Then we're going to get the longitude, latitude of that zip code, do the math here, and then port it back up there. Most zip codes, we're going to find out which state has the most zip codes via using the get state count and throwing that into a key value pair. Then we're going to throw it into an array list of the state count. So we're just going to get the keys, put it in there, and then what we're going to do is use collection sort, and then use a comparator, comparing integer, and using get. And what we're going to do is get the number back of the highest value. So we're comparing by integers, so we want to get the highest. City into most states. City name in most states, we're going to basically do the thing above, but we're going to use a default because it's possible that it was not initialized yet. We're going to do the for each loop, put them in there, put them in there, put them in there. Iterate the count, iterate through the count, see if the max count is high, see if the max count is higher. If the max count is higher, it's going to make the max count. It's going to make the max count into the new just brain farting. If the city has the most, what's going to happen here is that we're going to go through each values and we're going to check the count. If the city has more, we're going to input the max count as that amount for the city. And then what's going to happen is we're going to look into our map, the key value pair, entry, city is most set, so this is the key, this is the value. And if the city equals the max count that we generated up here, that means we're gonna get the key. Then we're gonna get the key because we're using entry.getValue, so we're getting the value of each entry equals max count. Yeah, so then most common cities.add, so then we're just adding it to the list, and then we'll print it out so we can have multiples. Printer writer, that's yours, and I want to thank you for watching the video, but first I need to run and show you that this works. I'm sorry about all the pausing. I've just been through it a few times, and I'm just really starting to confuse myself with going through it so many times and having the video to be too long. This time the video is going to be about 15 minutes, so that's good. All the information is output. The output is a little bit different though, but everything matches up. I made sure to check for that, and I want to thank you for watching the video, giving me the opportunity to do this, and I hope you have a great day.